It's here. It's finally here. We've been waiting years for this, and it's finally here. Here, here, here. How many times can I say here? It is here. We have some important news coming in here today that will most likely push up the markets. Now, right when news comes out, anything can happen. Right now, Bitcoin got this news and it's fluctuating. It's falling down just slightly, but I want to show you the news. The big news that just came out, along with some other news that's very important. If you don't mind, hit subscribe. Turn on the bell notification underneath the video so you can see future videos just like this. I'm going to wait for the news that just came out until we get through some of this other news, which has been coming out over the last 12 hours or so. If you want to trade cryptocurrency, there's a link underneath the video to Margex, where you can start trading in just a few seconds. It's a great trading platform. It's powered by TradingView, meaning you can go out and then come back in, and all your stuff is still here. It's set up just like TradingView, which is the number one place to chart different assets, and they have all different kinds of assets on here. You can trade Bitcoin, Ethereum, Solana, ADA, Dogecoin, Kaspa, and you can use all different forms of collateral as well. So you can trade Bitcoin with ETH as collateral if you wanted, for example. Let's start here. We had $40 million worth of flows into the Bitcoin ETFs yesterday. Now, that doesn't seem amazing right off the bat, right? 40 million is less than we've seen in the past, but 40 million times 200 trading days is about $8 billion. Now, again, that's nothing compared to what we've seen this year, but if that were to consistently happen, that would most likely push up the market pretty nicely, and that kind of relentless buying is what we've seen. Of course, we have had some big days out, but overall, the ETFs have been doing pretty well. Norges Bank, the central bank of Norway, owns over 1.1 million shares of MicroStrategy. This is a lot. I mean, MSTR did go through the split recently, but yeah, they're $135 per share, which means that they hold, $140 million worth, $152 million worth of MicroStrategy. The Central Bank of Norway, I'm assuming, is pretty large. They have the largest pension, or second largest pension in the world as well. But they hold a lot of MicroStrategy, which means that they essentially hold Bitcoin, right? It's a Bitcoin proxy that allows MicroStrategy to have a higher stock price because of large entities like this buying them, which means that they can get access to cheaper debt, which means that they can buy more Bitcoin. So it is important to look at, who's buying MicroStrategy stock, who's invested in Bitcoin. Maybe this is an indication to the people that buy MicroStrategy that don't have IBIT or don't have other Bitcoin ETFs. Maybe it's an indication for things that are to come, but maybe they just haven't passed compliance yet. That's how I view a lot of it. Okay, Macroscope says, after the market closed today, Goldman Sachs filed a 13F disclosing the following positions as of June 30. $240 million in the iShares Bitcoin Trust, or IBIT, $80 million worth of Fidelity, $35.1 million of GBTC, $56 million of the Invesco Galaxy Bitcoin, 8.3 of Bitwise Bitcoin, $750,000 in Wisdom Tree, $300,000 in the ARK Bitcoin ETF. These are all new positions as of this quarter. Goldman Sachs is massive. Okay, they're a $3 trillion AUM manager, and right here they have about $400 million worth of Bitcoin ETFs. At first glance, it seems like, wow, they allocated so much, and in dollar terms, they did. Keep in mind, though, this is about 0.015% of their AUM. Okay, this is like 0.01% of their total AUM. So the fact is they can allocate a lot more towards these Bitcoin ETFs. Same thing with all these large institutions. Like the people that are going heaviest on the Bitcoin ETFs are the hedge funds. But these large AUM managers are still barely allocated towards the Bitcoin ETFs. So it will be interesting to see how this grows over time. And keep in mind, today is the date that all of these companies are required to submit their 13F filings. So we should we should get more news over the next 24 hours. Okay, last time we had the 13F filings come out was right around May 15 and maybe May 14. It was 45 days after the end of the first quarter. So May 15, we actually moved from about the same price we are right now, 61.5, and we moved up to 66,000. Then we went sideways for about 5 days, and then we moved up to the trend line to 72,000. So maybe we get some more splashy news that causes us to go up again. We'll have to be on the lookout for that, but this is some splashy news. Let's look at this. Let me reload this page. Okay, it hasn't shown it yet, but you can see here we had, this is CPI. We had gone up to 9.1%, come all the way down to 3%, gone back up to about 3.7, back down to 3.1, up, down, but we've never seen a 2 handle. We've never seen a 2 at the front of the inflation reading since early 2021, okay, until since April, right? So was that 3 years and 3 months, 4 months? 3 years and 4 months, we have not seen anything with a 2 in front of it, and we just got it. CPI, 0.2% month over month. The expectation was 0.2%. Core was 0.2%. The expectation was 0.2%. So CPI was 2.9% year over year. The expectation was 3%. Core was 3.2. The expectation was 3.2. So now, yesterday we got PPI that came in slightly lower than expected. Today we're getting CPI coming in slightly lower than expected as well. Now, how's Bitcoin reacted to this? Well, it moved up right on the news, up to about 61.8. Now it's fallen down a little bit. I would not be surprised to see some volatility later in the day. I would not be surprised to see it move up. You know, a lot of the time we get these good readings and it goes up and then falls down. It's just like people taking trades off or closing trades, but then we move in the direction that it makes sense. So we had good news, we'll probably move up. Now, of course, we do have a lot of resistance around this zone that I spelled out yesterday, around 62.7 to 63.7. So be on the lookout around there. If we can break through that, I think it would be extremely bullish. Now there's about a 50-50 shot between a 50 basis point cut and a 25 basis point cut over in September. So let me know your thoughts on all this underneath the video. Let me know if you're doing anything with your crypto portfolio right now. I'm pretty much just sitting here. Of course, there are times where I'll invest into some smaller cryptocurrencies, but I'm pretty much just sitting here waiting because I do think we're going to move much higher, and I accumulated so much during the bear market. Now, if you're DCing, I still think that's, you know, a decent, a good way of buying Bitcoin. I shouldn't even say decent. It's a great way of buying Bitcoin over the long term. Let me know your thoughts though. If you want to trade, again, there is the link underneath the video to Margex. And if you want a ticket to Bitcoin Vegas next year, there's a 10% off code. Thank you so much. I'll see you all in the next video.